Alcyone, The Last City is a near-apocalyptic visual novel centered on the intrigue and secrets of a far-future settlement on the edge of oblivion. The outpost called the City is the last bastion of existence. Outside of its secure barriers, a reality-unmaking phenomenon known as the nihility has consumed all of known space. Within the city, life is strictly regimented, with the population kept stable through cloning and a system dominated by 6 quasi-noble houses of skilled workers. You are the latest clone to emerge into the city, ready for a predictable life, until you are unwittingly drawn into a conspiracy that could transform or destroy the city forever. Reality itself now rests in your hands. The core mechanics in Alcyone will be familiar to fans of text-heavy RPGs and VNs. After a short character creation sequence, the protagonist is launched into the city to begin unraveling the story. Now, the story isn't strictly linear. There are a few side quests, and the protagonist may end up on a few different mainline paths depending on background. The protagonist acquires equipment that changes their stats, which in turn can be used to complete sequences. Options are seldom locked off by stats, though they can be restricted based on background or previous choices, but there is an element of randomness and actions may be more or less likely to succeed based on stats. Failing a skill check or picking certain options can result in the player gaining maladies, a kind of negative skill. The widespread use of cloning in the city means that death is somewhat impermanent, but it is still possible to get a game over if the protagonist has a malady go too high. The story of Alcyone is largely focused on its setting, though player choice affects how the protagonist navigates the world and ultimately what their goal actually is. One with a more highborn background might choose to meddle in the internal politics of the houses, while an outsider might reject that and instead seek a means of escaping the system. Overall, the story trends towards a more fantastic and far future flavor of sci-fi and will appeal best to fans of similar literature.